So the theme this month is rest. And the big question is how? How do you incorporate the rest in an FI, in the hands-on part of this? And what I was thinking, one way that we can do this is, and this is a collection of movement lessons, MBS movement lessons from Leora Gaster. And what I like about it, it's a very simple outline of a lesson. And what I can do is I can kind of follow this outline because the rest are built in. So what we're going to do today is twist on the back. And we're going to turn that into a little FI. Okay, any questions? Okay. Normally, if this was a regular client, we would want to do maybe a reference move in the beginning or have them walk around in the beginning so we can kind of get a before and after effect. Does anybody have an idea of a nice reference movement for twist on the back? Yeah, just turning, right? That would be a really good one. So we're going to assume that we've seen this guy turn and we've seen him walk a little bit. So we have our initial thing. Doing an ATM, right? If I was going to teach this ATM, it would have started with the scan. So we can start the FI with a scan, right? And if you guys want, you can look head to toe, you can look toe to head, and you can just kind of see the differences between the two sides. Yeah. Yeah, and Bobby has a nice idea too, right? You could even use your hands a little bit. You just kind of gauge one shoulder, the other shoulder, one side lower back, the other side of the lower back.
The left knee is a lot higher off the table. Right knee.
Yeah, Michelle did an awesome job with him because this guy has his own unique movement patterns or his own unique lying pattern. This is his and his alone. So it's nice to have a skeleton who's just as messed up as we are.
He's built just like I am.
Yeah, see? So you have a mate there. Okay, so we did that, we did our scan. And now I'm going to think of the first starting movement. And with this lesson, it's the lesson where your legs are standing, you cross one leg over the other. So what we can do, the first thing is I'm going to figure out which leg would be easier to stand. And by looking at it, like one's already on the way, one's already started. Yeah, can you see that? His knee's bent already, it's up higher. So we can use the frog leg lesson, right? The frog leg lesson before we get into our other main lesson, because this is a nice little thing to help him feel the hip joints. So the idea is, right, I want to find the easy way for him. And if you're not sure which leg, right, what you can do is you can just kind of roll one leg, roll the other leg. Whoa. And here I could even feel, just with a little touch, I can feel things already happening that way. This, I just want to be careful not to shortchange him. Because if you bring the leg all the way up, you'll get to a point where it will pretty much roll into standing. And that's a learning lesson too, rather than just standing the leg like that, like people normally do, when you take it out and like this, look at all that mobilization and movement you're getting in the hip joint at the head of the femur.
Especially on that side.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll kind of play with that today a little bit. Now, finding the leg to stand. If I want this guy to be unhappy, I'm going to stand him perfectly. And this guy's like, no, that's not me. I don't do that. So chances are he's going to find that really, really uncomfortable and strange. So to help him find his stance, just pick up the leg a little bit. You know, and just kind of find a place. Okay, and where I'm seeing, it's just like the ATM, right? We could try a couple of foot spots. I'm finding that this place right here is pretty nice for him. Patty, can you help him just like that? This side we'll just do real quick. And you can feel it once if you pick up the right place where you're not locking the knee into a certain thing. If I'm like this, that joint's not free to move. But if I get it right here, or it's like a little not holder. God put a little holder here just so we could do this with the cat.
The condyle.
It's a condyle, yes. Those condyles are nice. Okay, so what I may want, okay. Now I kind of have both. And what I'm looking for now is we're going to put one leg over the other. And which leg do we want to put it? So I'm just kind of feeling, I'm feeling this way is a little easier. This way it's like we're fighting the current, and you can see the curve in the back. So this goes with the curve in the back a little better. So gonna go left leg over right leg. And I may have to or he may have to readjust this leg a little bit. Yeah. And now that feels a little bit more centered. And we have our starting position with the one leg crossed over the other leg.
How far to the left is the foot split?
So you decided because of the way the leg moved?
What I did is I picked up the leg now like this, and I just let him get himself where he was comfortable. I just let him move his way.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I meant
that's where
the left leg over the
Which
right.
leg to cross?
How did you?
He tilted easier to the left.
tilt?
Do we want to rewind?
Yeah.
Rewind.
So he tilts.
Yeah,
So I tilted the legs a little this way, and I tilted the legs a little that way.
his pelvis naturally wants to come.
And you can see more happens tilting this way than that
Oh, I
way.
see, because the weight of the knee, okay, goes to the left, all right, so I got it.
I did. This guy's great because he has his definite preferences.
His right leg and hip are far more stable.
So now we have our starting position here. And I'm going to think about the in-betweens or the awareness questions in the lesson. And the first one is, how does contact change with the ground? What goes toward the ground? What comes away from the ground? Right? I can close my eyes and see if I can feel it. And one hip goes toward the ground, the other one's up. We can feel the pelvis, it shifts more to the left side of the pelvis. Even up into the rib cage a little bit. I may do this 3 times, and that's what I'm thinking. What's coming to the ground? What's moving away? Can I feel that? Can I feel that movement with my hands?
See, That's right, sure, that is not.
Yeah. Yeah, and that will bring us to the next one, which is how far does the movement go up? So now I'm tilting the legs the same way, but just kind of mindful of how far up is that going. And what I'm feeling is I may have to do a little something there. So to get the movement to go up to the head clearer, and you probably found this there's a point in this movement where your knees actually lengthen down a little towards your toes. You can see when I bring that in, you see how his head's shaking. So that's the nice thing is when you're focusing on how the movement is working through the system, working through the person, that will help you kind of gauge what you need to do with the movement. You kind of feel how you can get that movement more involved. Now we're going to do one last in between before our rest, and that last one is going to be what is the sequence of the movement? What's moving first? And now can we see? You can almost see vertebrae by vertebrae until you get to the thoracic. It's a little while tight.
But also moving to like,
Yeah, that's a great point, Lonnie. So we're not only focusing on how the movement's going up, but how's the movement going down, because there's contact here too. And the contact of the foot is definitely changing the foot. So that's a great point. And then we can just kind of find that movement back. Did he actually change it a little bit?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, look at the right leg.
His right leg is more relaxed.
Right leg is toned out.
Wow, how about
His
that?
chest is different. It's now more, this side is lifted more.
So you don't need to really have brains
don't need
for
a
this
brain?
to work.
Is that
You don't need a brain.
And his spine is different.
A little
It's,
straighter.
yeah, it's straighter, it's not as curved. Scoliosis has unwound itself.
And we should do a little demo of that.
for the newsletter?
Imagine. This guy's just plastic and bungee. And imagine how much you can change because you're much more than plastic and bungee. Any questions about that?
That's great.
How do we incorporate rest? Or are we doing the next one? Are we resting or pausing?
Well, right now, this kind of would
The
be
rest?
the rest.
And would you
then-
do that in an FI? Would you take them back to the scan position?
Yeah, definitely, and we would kind of do what we were just doing now, noticing the changes and the differences, and asking them questions. And and if he said, "Oh, I don't know, I can't tell," then you can use your hands. You can say, "Okay, well, here's the kneecap on one knee, here's the kneecap on the other knee. How are these two kneecaps different? Do you feel one turned out more than the other?"
Look how
Or
much more to the right.
or you can put your hands on the iliac crest to kind of help them out a little bit.
Or my favorite, how close is your little toe to the ground?
Yeah, that's a good one. And if he's not sure, then you can just kind of put your hands on the little toe, direct attention there.
It's still closer on the left.
And
but-
you could even go, see, this toe finds the ground. And then
Can't
go
see
back.
that.
Oh.
Now this toe finds the ground.
Jen needs something else.
Can't see
Yeah,
that.
Jen?
Can't see that because the
Oh.
screen needs to be tilted one to the.
Are you talking to me?
There we go.
Is that better?
I can see fine.
Okay, good. Yeah, but that, we were just talking about that, so you can do this. You can move the leg in such a way that he can feel how far one toe has to go. Compared to how far the other toe has to go. And that's a nice thing, because sometimes movement's easier to feel than where you are in the stationary position. Then we would do the other side, right? We would do the other leg, the other side, we take another rest break. And then if you remember the ETM, right, the hands are like this. And then we would kind of work on that. That you can do a whole bunch of variety of ways. I don't know if we'll have time to get to it today. It's a little tricky to find this. You can have him put his hands together in the prayer position. And then see if you can get the shoulder blades. Yeah, kind of doing it. Or it's easier. And it may be easier this way. Because now I can put the arm in the position of the shoulder blade rather than here. You can see,
Sure.
yeah. Yeah, so it may be easier just to do this single arm. And here I feel like I have the shoulder blade.
So you kind of seeing diagonal.
Yeah, that's something, yeah, and you do the same in betweens. What's going toward the floor, what's going away from the floor. How far the movement is going down him, how far does it go down the spine, does it go to the pelvis, does it go toward the feet? And then what's the sequence, right? Sequence, arm, it takes the shoulder blade up, the shoulder blade starts pulling on the rib cage, and then the spine will start to turning at some point. So what's this? Can you feel that turning of each vertebrae at the spine? And then you're coming back. And between those two things, you can pretty much do that. If you do it slowly and give them time to rest and compare differences, that may take you most of the time with the FI. Or you could even have the person do the FI at the end so they can do it themselves.
Do the ATM?
Yeah,
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise known as the
Well,
other
allegedly
FI.
they're the same, so, yeah.
The other
Do it
FI.
yourself, FI.